Oh,
Here's
okay.
what I saw. I told you the orcs are digging everywhere. Well, they've dug huge caves into the ground in the side of the hills and into the mountains where they do their work. Some of it's forges, and they got blacksmiths making armor and all kinds of weapons. They save on metal by making their armor for the front only. Like they're not planning on retreating anymore. Oh, and they got these huge pits too, bigger than I've ever seen. They pull in new orcs, maybe 100 or so a day. Some of them are those Uruk-hai. You can tell them right away, because they've got a head or so on other orcs. They come out fighting, and immediately start bossing everyone else around. No one's the wiser about me spying. But don't send no more clothes. The other orcs might get suspicious.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Jack, okay, you have to kind of look past the fact that she's murdered lots and lots and lots of people.
And they're not stupid.
But she has a better...
Well, yeah.
Estimated our enemies.
They are forged for one purpose: to destroy the world of men.
She has a better character arc, I think.
See, I agree. Yeah, I remember my first playthrough and I came up with her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just this broken psychopath. But when you either if you befriend her or you romance her, you don't have to romance her in order for her to have an arc,
Right.
a good positive arc. Then I'm like, okay, but I'm a sucker for redeemed characters. I'm a sucker for villains who change their ways. I really am.
I can go with that.
Almost as much as I am suckered for the flawed hero, like the Boromirs out there.
I
You know,
am...
the guys who are relatively good, but then they do one thing to really kind of mess things up, but then they completely redeem themselves with a glorious death. I just actually today I watched Last of the Mohicans. Great movie. And there's another character in that, a guy named Duncan, who is... He has some good qualities, and he does something dickish, and then he does something like super heroic. And I'm like, okay, you're a pretty cool guy.
I completely agree with that. Oh, hang on. Let's see what this is.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm gonna add on to that as soon as this is done.
Sweet.
What?
Make
Oh,
yourself
it's-
at home, Jalian.
Another torch.
We obtained some valuable information from this one before he lost his head.
Ho ho ho.
These grunts know nothing. We're wasting precious time.
Wasting time. We have learned where they are keeping our blasting powder.
What need have I of blasting powder?
It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Whatever leads us to the Black Hand is my only concern.
So anxious to find the Black Hand. And by all means, I will take you to him. With any luck, the Uruks have yet to discover the secrets of the blasting powder. We will need to free my men to find out.
Do you believe the blasting powder can draw out the Black Hand?
I pray so. The enemy gathers at Uruk's Hollow, where many of my men are enslaved. I pray Eren, too, is there.
I will handle the Uruks.
Perhaps we can take a more stealthy approach and incapacitate them by using their weakness. Grog.
They're
Have you
pirates!
ever heard of Hithless?
Yarr.
It's toxic and is good for one thing. Poisoning orcs. Follow me.
I will say this. One thing I'm liking about this game is all of that was auto. Like, I didn't have to actually follow him.
It was Eren who
Oh,
nursed
that's
me to
cool.
health.
Is she the reason you joined the tribesmen?
Of the many, she is my most cherished. There are only so many camps my wife could have been taken to.
Do you believe she will be at this one?
My heart says yes.
I hope for your sake she is here gone.
I was
Well, she
gonna
doesn't show up, and he's like, my heart's a liar. Sorry,
Yeah.
you were saying.
I was gonna say I'm a sucker for the redemption arc too, with a few exceptions. One, I don't like it when it's every one of my biggest problems with a lot of anime is like every villain becomes a friend later on.
Oh, yeah, no, it has to happen once in a while. I completely agree.
Yeah,
Careful,
it needs to be
Ranger.
one of those things where it's like when they become a friend or an ally, it means something. But if it happens too often,
Yeah.
it loses it. And two, I think there is a point of no return for me in the sense of
Oh, sure. Like Hitler.
Yeah.
Or Himmler or Stalin. I'm like, man, you'd have to devote your entire life to doing amazing things after the shit you fucking pulled.
Like there was I don't know if you've ever really watched Naruto or anything, but there was a really good one in that one where someone who was a hero kind of went to the dark side, and you understood his reasoning, you sympathized with him, and you're like, yeah, I get it, I totally get this. But eventually he just did worse and worse things, and then he basically just tried to kill one of his allies to get to one of his targets, and at that point I'm just like, you're making me not sympathize with this guy anymore, and I know you're going to want me to, and you're losing me. I don't know why you're doing this. Like, I'm thinking from a story perspective, because you could tell from the whole time that sooner or later the main character is going to try to redeem him. That's the whole point. That while everyone else thinks that he is beyond redemption, the hero doesn't. And I get that. That's great. But if you make me lose all my sympathy for the guy, I'm not going to want him to be redeemed. I'm just going to want someone to kill him.
Yeah. I'm kind of that way with Jaime Lannister. Everyone's going all nuts for him and fucking fangirling for him with Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to talk any spoilers or anything like that, but I don't know. I guess I can acknowledge it a little bit, but I think I was a complete
yeah, okay, I'm with you. So I've only, let's see, I think I've watched season 3? Okay, I can tell you this without too many spoilers. The last season I saw was when Arya, oh wait, no, that's a spoiler. When Tyrion Lannister...
Can I just say the word chop chop? Will that mean something to you?
Or I'll say this, the Hound, when they split ways.
Yes.
That's the last season I saw. So I think that was probably season 3 or 4, quite a while ago. But even then, I totally get what you're saying, where it's like he was becoming sympathetic, people were starting to like him, and the whole time I'm sitting there going, he's very charming, he is, and I like him better than...
If he was ugly, I bet you people wouldn't root for him as much.
And I will say, like, for example, I like him better than, say, his dad. But
or his sister, sure. I agree.
At the end of the day, I still could never get over who he was.
Exactly. Thank you. He's got to do something more, you know what I mean? You have to do something... Like, for every moral ill that you do, you have to supersede it with a good act. And just becoming a little bit more humbler doesn't rule out the chance that you threw a kid out of the window in an attempt to murder him, or murdered your own cousin in a last-ditch effort to escape. Like,
yeah, I suppose that
pretty bad.
I should reassess. I don't think there is such a thing as a point of no return. I just think that the road you'd have to travel to earn trust again is severely underestimated by a lot of stories.
Blustery dwarf. We took his powder.
In the sense that, you know, I'm sure that there is a way that, I'm saying this, that Hitler could redeem himself, but it would be a very, very long road.
It would, yeah, exactly. Exactly. It would have to be, like, actually, one of my favorite, I won't get super preachy or anything like that, but okay, it's the character base. Have you ever watched Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson's character, Jules. You remember him?
Yeah, of course.
The person he is inspired by is this guy named Moses the Black. This is back in the area of Egypt. Well, my goodness, I think it was... I don't know the year, but it was in the early Middle Ages, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There are far worse things.
And am I still there? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Disconnect.
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I disconnect.
Oh no, we can still hear you. We can hear you. No. All right, when he comes back, I'm gonna.
Oh, hey, I'm back.
Hi. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I was listening to riffs last night. I was listening to the recap or whatever the last night's session, and it was doing it to you too. The cutting off.
Yeah.
Bad for you. Have you considered calling your ISP and talking specifically about this issue?
No, I don't know what the deal is there.
because I would almost like at that point I'd be like, look, I'm paying for this time period. This is a big problem for me. Send someone out to fix it.
No, because the problem is it's not a technical issue. The router works perfectly fine. What the problem is the way they distribute their bandwidth. If a lot of period in this entire area, this entire complex, it all happens during peak times, right? It doesn't happen at 2 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. People get home, they watch Netflix, they stream stuff, they play online games, they use greater bandwidth, and the ISP is too cheap to throttle it up. And so what happens is from time to time is you get these lag spikes.
And let me guess, you are very limited in your choices for ISP.
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah.
I got Shaw or I got Telus. And both of them are behave the exact same way.
Darkness
One thing I hate the most about ISPs is that they have no reason to get better, because they even know, I don't know about in Canada, but in America, they will literally make agreements with each other to like slice up a city so that they don't have to compete with each other.
Mostly, we'd end up slaves ourselves.
Pretty sure that's bordering on illegal.
Yes, I'm pretty sure there's no like official, you take this area, you take that area, but Charter just never seems to come to my area for some reason.
Our fellow Rangers would have killed you.
And AT&T never seems to go to their area for some reason. It's a shame. But yeah, no.
Anyway,
I was gonna say is I like a redemption arc when it's done well. I also like a tragic hero when it's done well. I don't like it when it's too common, and I don't like it when they make the mistake of just expecting you to buy it instead of devoting the proper time and effort to make me buy it.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Moses the Black.
Yeah,
Am I still good to talk about that? Oh yeah, okay. So Moses the Black, this was in the early Middle Ages. I can't remember the exact time. You can Google it, you can Wikipedia, everyone who's interested in this story. I'm going to give you just the Cole's notes. This man was a bandit. In his younger years, up until he was like 30, 35 or so, he would rob people, he would slit their throats, and throw them into the Nile River. He was a ruthless killer. Then, all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but eventually he was converted. In this case, converted to Christianity. I believe it was because he was going to rob a monk, and the monk didn't fight back. He was very non-violent, and it kind of spoke to him in a way. And so he gave up his life. He joined a convent. He joined the religious order, and for the rest of his life, until he was in his 60s or so, he lived a peaceful life, he helped people, he nurtured a community, and he expressed nonviolence and was completely disgusted with the way he lived before. Interestingly enough, when he was older, in the temple, in this Christian temple, or monastery, I guess, in the case, is... Oh, just a second.
We'll stand ready to seize the blasting powder once the camp is clear.
Nah, he's just telling me I gotta go kill everyone.
Yeah. I just didn't want to interrupt too much. Anyways, the last part is that in... Oh my god, dude!
These Uruks have killed many slaves for far less.
Okay, so I gotta be stealthy.
I'm trying to tell you the last part of Moses the Black's story. So, he's in his monastery, right? Sure enough, a group of bandits, cutthroats, and killers storm the monastery. Or they're going to storm the monastery. They're making threats. And some of the monks are thinking like, well, should we defend ourselves? Should we flee? And Moses the Black is like, you know what? You guys can flee. I'm going to stay here to kind of distract them. But I'm not going to raise my hand. I'm not going to hurt them. I've done away with violence. And pretty much the bandits came in, and the innocents kind of fled, and Moses the Black just kind of sat there non-violently. And unfortunately, he didn't convert the bandits. They killed the shit out of him. But it was a very big change from where he was before. So, like, in situations where that, I'm like, okay, yeah, like, you hurt and you killed a lot of people, but in the end, you did a complete 180 to the point where you gave up your own life. So, you're now cool in my book.
You know, this reminds me a little bit of one of my favorite episodes from... did you ever see Babylon 5?
No, I keep wanting to.
There was a really cool... It was like a side episode. It was like one of those one-shot episodes. You know, it didn't really pertain to the main story, but it was a neat little story in its own. Where in that world, they no longer had the death penalty. What they did is they did what they called a personality wipe. Where if you were convicted of horrible crimes, a telepath would wipe your personality and give you a new one. And people, you know, there was some moral dilemma of, is that still murder, you know, is that the same thing? And there was an episode where someone was a terrible, terrible murderer. And he went through a personality wipe and became a brother at a monastery who was very kind and very gentle and made beautiful artwork and gave it away for free. He was the model monk. And one of the victims... family members found him and started tormenting him and eventually ended up killing him. And it was this big thing of, you know, and the coolest thing about it was he ended up killing the monk, and the captain was really pissed at him because, you know, what happened. Well, the father who took in the original one at the monastery also took in the one who killed him, and was basically saying, you know, forgiveness is a really, really tough thing to do, because how is he any different than this one?
Yeah.
You know, it was one of my favorite episodes because of that. It was it dealt with a lot of really heavy, complex questions.
That's cool. That's good.
Guilty?
That's good sci-fi.
Yeah. Oh, that show is... You would really like that show if for no other reason than... The politics are done well, in the sense that they're not boring, they're realistic. You can really understand why every faction does what they do and how they think.
Neat.
And it really spares no expense in making good narrative instead of just a good war.
I'll have to check it out for sure. I can't remember. I remember talking to you before. Did you ever watch the show Farscape?
I did. I watched like the first season or two. Because remember you talked to me. You said I needed to keep watching past Scorpio because that's when it got. My problem was it was a little too lighthearted to take seriously. And you said, "Oh no, that changes."
It does. It definitely does change. Just Babylon 5 reminds me of Farscape in the sense that it's like an underappreciated sci-fi show. But yeah, like the first season is like Crisis of the Week type of thing, and then in the second and third and more seasons, there's more of an overarching deal.
I do intend to. I need to check it out again. Yeah, my big problem with it was that
too lighthearted.
Exactly. I don't mind lighthearted, but I do like a certain level of
seriousness.
Yes.
You kicked that man off the roof.
I did.
That's very rude.
Well,
well, he did try to kill me.
He probably deserved it. Alright. What? No. Poison it.
Stupid drunk orcs.
Alright.
Learn how to sing, you bastards.
Alright, where's the next one? Oh. Good, I need to heal up anyway.
Do you heal by sucking out some of his soul?
Kind of.
Okay, I don't know about this Bright Lord dude. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
Something's definitely off about this.
I've been wondering about him too. Okay, I don't know where he's going, but fine. Alright, where am I?
Like that. Did you heal by sucking some of his soul out? Kinda.
Is amongst this squalor.
Set some traps and lure the creature in. It dies by our hands.
Oh, the stink of this. I'm surprised they can keep it down.
Well, they probably don't have too many choices. pretty sure the orcs
They don't
aren't,
have
like,
developed taste buds.
It's not like they're sitting there going like, well, I could have single malt whiskey or grog.
Good point, Lumia. That's right, drink the grog. You like grog.
Tasty, tasty.
This is how you're gonna take care of those guys that you can't kill. That's immune
Right?
to stealth.
Can I just
They're
keep
not immune
this?
to poison.
Oh, you're a human. Hello, what's this?
That was nothing. I could fall and walk away from an edge twice as high as that.
I will take this, whatever it is. Oh, okay, not that important. Let me kill this guy.
With all the talk about us.
What? I'm sorry, you have a knife in your brain. You were saying?
Immune to stealth. False.
Luckily, that's only captains. And not all of them. Alright, I have a bonus objective to kill 4 more people with stealth. Crap.
Someone's sneaking about.
I was detected. What? Oh,
Yeah, you
wow.
can't be detected.
Yeah, I thought maybe if I
I'm
killed him
surprised it
faster.
didn't do that when you kicked that dude off a roof.
I killed him faster than he saw me, yeah. Herp. Alright, let's get this guy.
Yeah, grog is like, I don't know, I know it's that pirates drink a lot of grog, but it's a type of booze. And I wouldn't call it high quality.
No. You know my boss, it was funny.
No wonder this stuff burns so well.
My boss, it was after hours, I was staying late to install something, and I went into his office to ask him something. He's just sitting down having a cup of whiskey or whatnot, and he was like, hey, would you like a drink? I was like, that is really nice, but I can't stand alcohol. You know, and I explained to him that it's way too bitter for me because I have more taste buds. And he was like, you should be a wine taster. And I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, I mean, if you can really, like, tell the differences and all that stuff. I was like, I probably could. And he's like, yeah, you could make a lot of money being a wine taster. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm saying, that's cool, I should think about that. I'm sitting there thinking,
But you don't like
yeah, exactly.
wine.
I'm thinking, so I should make a lot of money by constantly doing something I
It's like
hate.
saying, yeah, it's like saying I should be a broccoli taste tester.
Yeah.
Fucking hate. Broccoli is a devil weed. Don't listen to anyone who tells you otherwise.
That's why I fight so hard.
But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, did he think this through, or... I mean, yeah, boss, totally. Totes. When I was in the military, I used to just accept it, because I wanted, I didn't want to...
Fit in.
Exactly. I don't care as much anymore.
Are the spirits of dead slaves. Can you believe it?
Damn straight, Walt. Rum, rum, rum. Right in my belly. Big fan.
Oh, the stink of this. I'm surprised they can keep it down.
You want to know something that I think is kind of embarrassing for me?
Okay. Share your
It took
secrets
me-
with us,
It
please.
took me like 10 years to realize the Pirates of the Caribbean movie was based off of the ride at Disney World.
Oh! That's not that embarrassing. It wasn't a super popular ride. I mean, it was a long-standing ride.
Well, I knew it was there.
I
just
knew
never-
I knew about when the movie came out, but I think it's just because one of my buddies told me. It's not like this was intrinsic knowledge to me. So
I knew it was there. I just never connected dots to, because I should have, like, yo ho yo ho. I actually listened to that song all the time as a kid, but I just was thinking to myself when I saw the movie, yeah, it's a pirate
Pray for
shanty.
Hirgon, his wife, is amongst this squalor.
Okay, I don't want them to catch me. I don't care about killing the other two stealthy ones.
Now all there is to do is wait.
Really? That's it? That's all you gotta do is wait? Oh, okay, thank God. Didn't. Oh, that's pleasant.
what is it, Lassie? Then we fall down the well.
Come with me. Come with me. Come on.
It's me! It's Hilgon!
They're gonna have crazy sex later.
Unless she blames him.
I knew you were alive. I knew it.
Okay, I don't think she blames him.
There will be more battles, Talion. But we will find our peace.
And as he leaves, orcs overrun them. Alright. I think that's a day well spent. You know what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna kill the stream for now, stop for the night, and then probably sometime tomorrow or something I'll just run and grab all those towers, get them out of the way. Because it will be helpful to do it. It's boring.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Alright, guys. Well, hey, guys, thanks for coming to the stream. As always, like next Monday, we will hold another vote to see what I play. It's been interesting. It's been very different each week. So
there you go.
That's good to know. Oh, hello. What do we got here? Brutalize. Oh, yeah, okay. Brutalize. Shadow Strike can't do. Stealth Drain. I think I might take that, actually. That's helpful. It'll let me do more arrows and stuff. There we go. Alright, so everyone, thanks for coming, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.